Hi guys, I'm Jay, living in Seoul. The song we are gonna look at today is Stay, the last song of the album B. It's a unit song composed of the new combination Jungkook, Jin, and Namjoon. What's special about this song is that Jungkook was deeply involved in both composing and writing lyrics. Particularly, the song was almost included as the last song of Jungkook's personal mixtape, but just like V's song did, it was included in the B album with the members' enthusiastic welcome. I'm so happy to start it's included in this album and ranked 22nd on the Billboard Top 100 chart. When you listen to this song, you can draw it in your mind. BTS members are sitting alone in their empty rooms. Is dream makes a verb to past tense. 을까 is a sentence ending that indicates a question or a speculation about something. So 꿈이었을까 is was it a dream? It's kind of questioning oneself with speculation. 널 is a short for 너를 and is the objective form of you. 보다 is see. 인 것 같아 seems like or feels like. So 널 본 것 같아 means I feel like I saw you. 눈 뜨면 다시 아무도 없는 밤. 눈 is I, but we don't say 눈들 at all. Timin is when open, rise. You can use this like open the door at all. 뜨다 is used for like 눈 뜨다 or 해 뜨다 which means sun rises. 다시 is again. 눈 뜨면 다시 아무도 없는 방 means if I open my eyes again, there's no one in the room. The first scene is probably Jungkook or Jin with his eyes closed alone in his room. And the song begins when he opens his eyes. According to Jin's interview with Weverse magazine, he came up with this intro. He said he felt like ARMY's existence was a dream. 가만히는 주문을 걸어 그 어느 때보다 크게 뛰는 heart. 가만히 is still, quietly, gently, softly, carefully. 난 is I, 주문 is spell. It is an objective particle. 걸어 is cast. So 난 가만히 주문을 걸어 means I softly cast a spell. 그 어느 때 is at any time ever. 보다 is then. 크게 is big. But if this is used with the sound, it means loud. 뛰는 is modifying form of 뛰다. This is usually means run or jump. But when it's used with heart, it becomes heartbeats. So 그 어느 때보다 크게 뛰는 heart is the heart that beats louder than ever. He cast a spell. It reminds me of a scene where armies at a magic shop make a door in their hearts and open it. When you open the door at the magic shop, the armies meet BTS, have a warm cup of tea, and look up at the stars in the sky. It's a place where people relax and feel contented, forgetting all the difficulties for a while. It's a magical place where people go beyond time and space. Coincidentally, the magic shop is also a song written and composed by Jungkook himself. How talented he is. Being warm-hearted and talented is really wonderful and attractive. 이 순간 우린 언제라도 어디 때도 together wherever yeah. 이 순간 우리 언제라도 어디 있대도 is in this moment whenever wherever we are. Just as Magic Shop has made BTS and ARMYs cross time and space, the same thing happens in this song. Time and space are no matter anymore for BTS and ARMYs when he spells a cast because we can meet in music. In this chaotic and exhausting situation, BTS members are consistently feeding us with quality content. The amount is so huge that it's really busy to follow. In the comments of such videos, we can see some comments saying that others say this is the worst year, but not for ARMYs. ARMYs are already feeling happiness and comfort from BTS beyond the time, space, and situation. 반복 is repetition. 또 is used for emphasizing and means even. 복 is blessing or luck. 인 것 같아 it seems like, feels like. 반복도 복인 것 같아 means even repetition seems like a blessing. You should know that Namjoon's unique quotations are always hidden everywhere. One of the commonly used expression in Korea is blah blah 도 병이다. It means even something is a disease. When a certain behavior or habit is too excessive, it's used to mean that it's almost a disease, if not in fact. The most representative phrase is 도 병이다, which contains swear words. It means going nuts is almost kind of illness. In that sense, people use the phrase something is a disease itself. Following are the books I found. The title of the books compare unrequited love, travel, and poverty to diseases respectively. A similar expression is 걱정도 팔자다 as well. Even worrying too much is said to be a person's fate. When a certain person's behavior is over-repeated, and when someone else can't make them stop because he or she was too obsessed with something, it used to be considered pitiful. However, Namjoon changed the idiom to 반복도 복이다. he changed this common idiom to a new one. Unlike conversational phrases, he said certain actions are blessing. What's interesting is that even here, he matched his signature rhyme. He rhymed with 복, which means blessing, and another 복 of 반복, which means repetition. So why does he say the repetition of certain actions is a blessing, not an illness to be blamed for? What does it refer to? He's not pinpointing what it is, but contextually speaking, you can grasp this. First of all, they are in a situation where they put their spells and they shout over and over again. So where should we check? It's the chorus part. Yes, they are repeatedly put spells on you to stay there, be there, but the spell is so exciting. Imagine countless fans shouting these lyrics and jumping passionately at a concert at a large stadium. It seems that they chose the song and put it in the album at the last minute, imagining such scenes. 가만히 모아보네 두 손을 변하지 않네요 미친놈처럼 막상 가만히 모아보네 두 손을 means quietly I put two hands together. To put it concretely, 가만히 means without moving or saying anything. Then you may feel that the lyrics are a little strange. In the previous lyrics, he cast a spell silently, and in these lyrics, he folded his hands without moving. Isn't it a little confusing? Here, 가만히 means to focus on what you are doing now and refrain from making any other sounds or moves. Folding his hands reminds me of 0 o'clock lyrics. 두 손 모아 기도하네. I pray with my hands together. 변하다 is change. G is commonly used in various forms of in sentences. I have talked about G several times, but actually the grammatical role was quite different. Last time I introduced the G as one of the sentence endings, but G here is a conjunctive ending grammatically. It is used to indicate denial or prohibition of a particular movement or condition, and is used with words such as 않다, 못하다, or 말다. It was used here with 않다. So 변하지 않다 means not change. When 는 is attached to a verb, it modifies a noun. 내일 is tomorrow, so 변하지 않는 내일 means tomorrow that does not change. 미친 is mad, crazy. 놈 is a guy or mad in bad way. 처럼 is like as, so 미친놈처럼 is like a madman. Still, he knows that tomorrow's reality will not change. Today's problems do not disappear completely tomorrow. The more you get to know the reality that doesn't change, the more crazy it may fail to repeat and hope itself. 지금 난 널 생각해 네가 어디에 있든지 그게 뭐가 중요해 We connect to 7G 바로 지금 means right now 난 널 생각해 is I think of you 니 is you, 가 is a subjective particle 네가 어디에 있든지 is wherever you are Don't get them wrong, it's not an N-word 그게 뭐가 중요해 sounds like is there anything important among them? Then what is it? So it means it doesn't matter The reality has not changed and BTS and armies are far away But he says it doesn't matter He's saying we're connected to 7G. Then what's 7G? For some time, there has been a lot of news in Korea about the opening of 5G, which means the speed of internet connection. In addition, news has recently been heard that research and development is underway up to 6G. In the past, RM said he had always checked newspapers and grasped current domestic situation and the world's trends. It's not clear, but I think he might be inspired by this and wanted to say that BTS and armies are connected faster and stronger than 5G or 6G. I think it also means that they are complete when they are 7. In addition, I think it's intended to complete the rhyme. If you read this line of the lyrics, you can see the rhymes of the words 해 and 지. 바로 지금 난 널 생각해. 네가 어디에 있던지. 그게 뭐가 중요해. We connected to 7G. 이건 is this is, 몇 is several or certain, 파동 is wave or crisis. 불과 is only or just. The word 하지만 itself can be used alone meaning but. However, in this case, it's simply spaced out and separated from 불과. So actually, it's 불과하지만, which is conjugated form of 불과하다. The basic form of 바꿔놓을 거야 is 바꿔놓다. This is a combination of 바꾸다 and 놓다. 바꾸다 is change, And in this case, 누타 is an auxiliary verb. If it's attached to a verb, it means that the action of the preceding verb is completed and the result is maintained. 거야 is for making a verb the future tense. So 널 바꿔놓을 거야 is I'm gonna change you. Let me ask you one thing. Why did he use the expression 불과 in the lyrics and what does that mean? First of all, I think the reason why he pauses after 불과 is to rhyme. He divided the lyrics according to the beat and adjusted the last syllable to the ah sound. For other reason, I think he interpreted the word and gave it meaning in his own way. Earlier I said 불과 means only or just, then it becomes this is just several waves. So does he want to say that pandemic situation is trivial and not a big deal? I don't think so. If he had wanted to say so, he could have said like this. 이건 몇 파동일 뿐이지만 내가 널 바꿔놓을 거야. When he writes lyrics, he divides Korean, English, and Chinese characters, whatever, and examines the deep meaning of the words. His slight pause after the word 불과, I think he intended to emphasize this word a little bit. I also think that the word 불과 would certainly not have chosen for no reason. In Chinese characters, 불 means not, 과 means go beyond or exceed. So 불과하다 also can be not to exceed that level. I think he is using it to mean virus can't go beyond the level of virus itself. In other words, many people around the world are physically affected by the current situation in some ways. Not only that, but also mentally affected. If something happens, people are bound to be affected. But I think he wanted people not to be overpowered by it. If you are buried in the present, you can't move forward any further. So he says, I'm gonna change you. So what and how is he gonna change? Jin also participated in both writing and composing in this song like Jungkook and Namjoon. I think this part is one of them. Look at this line. 그 어느 때보다 밝게 보이는 star. It means star that looks brighter than ever. This part immediately reminded me of Jin's moon. As I said in the previous moon explanation video, he likened himself to a moon with a dark ocean, armies to a shining star, and earth. I was real surprised and perplexed when I first saw the lyrics. Celebrities are usually considered as stars. Where is there anyone who calls fans stars? It's right here, it was Jin. Then who was the bright star in these lyrics? Of course, for us, the BTS members will be the stars. But considering the context with the preceding lyrics and Jin's previous song Moon, I think the star here is Hermes. In other words, while waves continue to hit us over and over again, now he casts a spell and it was to make us stars who look brighter than ever before. 찬바람이 불어와 손 내밀어 네 숨결을 느껴. In the song Life Goes On, you can see the word spring at the beginning of the lyrics and the word winter at the end. So you can see that almost a year has passed by. This song also tells us that time has passed. 찬바람 is cold wind. The basic form of 불어와 is 불어온다. And this is a combination of blow and come. So 찬바람이 불어와 is a cold wind blows towards me. This is a kind of progressive form. It shows that a year has passed from spring to winter. Yeah, a year has already passed. 손 내밀어 내 숨결을 느껴 is I reach out my hand and feel your breath. How can they reach out and feel the breath when BTS and armies are so far away? How did this become possible? You know he just cast a spell on the armies. You are already singing along like a Pied Piper, aren't you? The first scene of the song was to open his eyes that he had closed, and the last scene is closing the open eyes. These lyrics sound like a fairy tale, taking a little adventure in a dream overnight, and the dream is sweet and warm. That's all for today. Thank you for watching till the end. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time. Bye!